If I know what I want, then every day, the only question is, what can I do today to help me get what I want? That's it. The patience comes from the North Star, where you're going, the point, and the impatience comes from what can I do today? And the problem is, how can you have macro patience if you don't know where you're going? How could you have patience?
So then you're stuck in that micro urgency, that constant
With
go,
no
go, go, go,
context.
go, go, go,
With
but
no
you're not
context.
going anywhere.
There's no context to it. There's no point to it. It's
Right.
just busy being busy. It's going through the motions, actually.
And that's where you get to shooting all over yourself. And I have a good friend who tells me all the time, stop shooting all over yourself, because that's not going to get you anywhere. And it lowers your self-esteem. And then all of that busyness, not only do you burn out, like you say, mentally and even physically and emotionally, psychologically, you're just worn out at the end of the day, wondering if you're good enough. You're also sitting there, your confidence takes a huge hit.
My mentor used to say, the father of your fear is I'm not good enough, and the mother is I'm not loved enough. If you combine them, it's I'm not good enough to be loved. And so that's the biggest fear.
The other side of that fear is like being loved fully by yourself,
Who you are.
and finding your people who will love you for who you are. And that's a huge part of branding and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge part of this whole process of moving beyond being busy, and finding your North Star, so that all of your actions are in alignment. You start attracting the right people. You start doing the right things. You stop. This is something that I'd love to dive into. You start trading time for money, because you have so much more to give. If you have been spinning your wheels, constantly working your buns off to get shit done, and nothing seems to be coming to fruition, then you might be busy being busy. Yes, that's right. You are just procrastinating on the stuff that's actually going to get your job done. But I'm not the one who's going to tell you all this, because who am I? Well, I have Mo here today. He's going to back me up and tell you exactly what you need to hear. Mo, please take the time to introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about you, why you're here, and why this topic matters so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm Mo Choice. More choice is what I'm about. More choice is definitely better than less choice. Yes. If you know what you want, right? So every part of my journey has been, I don't know what I want. And then when I realized I don't know what I want, then it became much simpler for me to live my life, because then it was figure out what you want and then figure out how to get that. And that's essentially what I do. And I do it with solopreneurs. And the definition of a solopreneur is somebody who is going to take whatever risks necessary to live life on their own terms. So we make the decisions and we suffer or benefit from the consequences.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard someone describe a solopreneur with such precision and power. That was, wow. I'm here for it. I am here for it, because it takes us beyond just, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to make some money and heart. It's like so much more robust than that. Thank you, Mo. That was brilliant and unexpected, which I love. I love that.
Proves it's not scripted.
No, I mean, I don't know about on your side, but everybody knows that things come out of my mouth, and you never know what it's going to be next.
Same as me. Yeah.
That said, I think that the way you're describing this journey is really powerful, because when we talk about this idea of like, oh, if I figure out what I want, then I have all these choices to make that will lead me to that outcome. And if I don't know what I want yet, then that outcome is to figure out what I want.
100%.
But if you're not focused, if you haven't focused on either figuring out what you want, or you've figured out what you want and that's your goal, then it feels like you're just kind of putting your fingers in a bunch of different pots, trying to figure out which one's going to have the cookies. And that's not the way to go about it. And that's where we wind up, literally spinning around trying to figure where are we going. So tell me a little bit about this experience, because you help so many people in this space who are literally just burning out. They're burning out trying to get this thing, this idea of a thing that they're not even sure what it is. Tell me a little bit more about that, so that we can really dig into what does this really mean for the person.
Well, again, we can define burnout different ways, but really, it's if your brain, you have to stop your brain from thinking, from searching, and what ends up happening. It's not physical burnout for me. It's my brain doesn't stop working because I'm trying to figure things out. Well, if you don't know where you're going, that's the first problem. It's like getting into a car and telling the taxi driver, "Take me blank."
Take me somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's okay too, because you can say, "Take me somewhere, take me anywhere." But you're saying, "Take me, I don't know where."
Mm,
Actually, you're not even happy with somewhere. It's like, I go into a restaurant and I tell them, if it's a good restaurant, I'll say, "Surprise me, just pick something that I know what I want. I want them to choose."
right.
But this is worse than that. This is, I don't even know if I want them to choose.
So you'd be like climbing into the taxi cab, being like, "I'm in a hurry to get there.
Yeah,
But
but I
where
don't
is
know
there?
where.
I don't know,
I don't know
but I
where.
need to get there now."
Yeah, and this is a good this is a good analogy also for how a lot of solopreneurs sell. They talk about the process, not the outcome. So it's like, imagine I said to you, "It's a great plane. It's the A387 or whatever the hell it's called. And you're going to have a front row seat and we're going to serve you amazing food. You're going to have all these movies and your kids are going to be entertained." Yeah, but where are we going? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it's the perfect time and it's the terminal of your choice and we'll pick you up and take you to the airport. Yeah, but where are we going? It doesn't matter. It's the plane. Let's talk about the plane.
Right, right.
And most people are focused on the plane, not the destination. And look how simple this is, Shauna, right? If I know what I want, then every day the only question is, what can I do today to help me get what I want? That's it.
Yeah,
Gary Vaynerchuk says macro patience, micro speed. I like this concept. The patience comes from the North Star, where you're going, the point,
you're
what's
right.
the point, and the impatience comes from what can I do today, right? And the problem is, how can you have macro patience if you don't know where you're going? How could you have
Right.
patience
So then you're stuck in that micro urgency, that constant
with
go,
no
go, go, go,
context?
go, go, go,
With
but
no
you're not
context.
going anywhere.
No, there's no context to it. There's no point to it. It's
Right.
just busy being busy. It's going through the motions. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do this, aren't I?
And that's where you get to shooting all over yourself. And I have a good friend who tells me all the time, stop shooting
Sure.
all over yourself, because
And
that's
I'll,
not going to get you anywhere. And
yeah.
and it lowers your self-esteem. And then all of that busyness, not only do you burn out, like you say, mentally and even physically and emotionally, psychologically, you're just worn out at the end of the day. But you're also sitting there wondering if you're good enough. You're also sitting there, your confidence takes a huge hit.
So my mentor Eleni used to say, the father of your fear is I'm not good enough, and the mother is I'm not loved enough. And
Oh,
so if you combine them, it's I'm not good enough to be loved. And so that's the biggest fear,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like self-love, other people's love. It doesn't really matter. It's the concept of being loved, really.
I think
Yeah.
that's really powerful. And actually, I was just discussing this. We had a really great conversation. For everyone who's joining us today in this conversation, Mo and I had a short chat before our call, our recording call here, about AI and having conversations with AI. So I needed to give you all this context before I dove into this. I had a great conversation with ChatGPT today about about a concert that I went to. And at this concert, I will be creating a post about this, by the way. So everybody keep your eyes open. At this concert, it was an indie artist. I didn't go for myself. I went for my daughter. And she loves things like tails and masks and super artsy fartsy stuff, like really cool, super weird. She comes by it honestly. Um, but the coolest thing about this place was we showed up early, super excited. People start trickling in, and they're all wearing masks, tails, costumes.
Mm.
And we got to this point where these are my people. You can see this like energy. Oh, I could have jumped up and down with her, because truth be told, like they're kind of my people too. Love the self-expression and the fullness of self, right? Like perfect, beautiful. And I think that is what you're talking about, is like the other side of that fear is like being loved fully
Mhm.
by yourself
Who you
and
are.
finding your people who will love you for who you are. And that's a huge part of branding and marketing. That's
Mhm.
a huge part of this whole process of moving beyond being busy,
Agreed.
and finding your North Star so that all of your actions are in alignment. You start attracting the right people, you start doing the right things, you stop. This is something that I'd love to dive into. You start trading time for money because you have so much more to give.
And time is limited. You can't get your time back. You can make money back. You can lose money and make your money back, but you can't make your time back.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's a good example of branding versus marketing. Without the brand, I think the marketing loses its context.
Absolutely. And nobody can get on board the,
No.
the plane to the destination.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
So when people are being busy without a North Star,
It's a big
how does that then and so that affects your self-esteem, it affects your capacity for experiencing that love and confidence within yourself and the ability to move forward. How does that impact the decisions that you make from day to day that allow you to fall into the freelancer trap of getting paid hourly and not really getting paid your full worth as a solopreneur?
I think there is a correlation, because if I need to make money, it becomes about money. And the easiest way to make money is to say, I'll charge you per hour, or I'll charge you per day. That's the easiest way to make money.
Yeah.
And you're basically a floating employee. You might as well go get a job. Right. Oh, but I have my own, but I can pick my own calendar. It's like, yeah, well, okay, whatever. I've never met a happy freelancer, let's say, unless they've decided that's what they want. And so we go back to, what do you want?
Right.
If you want to part-time work for Uber and part-time work for, Just Eat, and part-time do some graphic design, great. If that's what you want. This is the other thing that people don't think about. They don't think about how's your life going to look day by day. We can talk about the gold medal, but what do you have to do to get there? The training, the sacrifice, the discipline. And I don't think enough people think about that. So it's the same thing with the freelance. It's like, let me just get paid the same way other people are getting paid. Well, then you're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You're just like everybody else. So why should anyone? So then it becomes market. Well, I can get a graphic designer for $25. The same way I can buy a burger for $10. Why am I spending $50 on a burger? Well, the burger has to stand out. You know what I mean? So I always give this. Imagine a new burger restaurant open in your town, if you like burgers, and they said best burger you've ever had. That's going to make you go, really? And then if they say, yeah, and if you don't agree, don't pay the bill. That's a standout offer.
Right.
And by the way, and if they charge $50 for that burger and every other burger is 20, you're going to say, well, I'm going to go try the $50 burger.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And so they're selling the outcome. Whereas the other burger restaurants are going, well, we have to compete with everybody else. And,
so we're going to give you a deal. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear for a moment. There we go. We're keeping it real here. I forgot to plug in my computer.
It's good you noticed before it was too late.
It tells me this is the benefit of these computers, which is something, one of those things that actually, going back to our AI conversation, is when you're weighing your pros and cons of what are you going to purchase, what are you going to invest in, including those entrepreneurs, those freelancers, those solopreneurs, whether you're really advertising the benefit, the outcome. When I did that for this computer, that was one of those things where it's like, oh, it's going to give me a warning. Excellent. Love that. Because I am the person who fills up my gas tank when the thing goes ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. What's that about? Huh? It's got to give us pre-warning for sure.
That's right. So no, I love that. Actually, I really love that, because it puts into context, especially for us foodies, like, would I try this $50 burger just because they said, oh yeah, it's good? But if they say, oh, you don't need to pay if you didn't actually like it. Well, now I'm leaning in.
Yeah, well, I think even just at $50, you're going to say, what the hell is that about?
Yes.
It's standout. You might go and try and say it's not worth the $50, in which case the restaurant won't last very long because reputation. Absolutely. But the analogy I give, and you've got kids and you understand this, the kids want to hear, we're going to Disneyland. We're going to have a great holiday in Disneyland. You can do whatever you want. They don't want to hear, we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. You're going to have to pack your bags. We're going to have to force breakfast down your throat, then get into a crammed car, then wait in the airport for 4 hours, then queue, then get to the hotel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want to hear all that crap. They just want to hear, we're going to Disneyland and you can do whatever you want there.
Yeah.
That's the dream outcome.
And this is actually a really huge rule when it comes to, so I started my whole career in this space as a copywriter. And this was a huge rule for copywriting. Everyone, if you're copywriting something right now, whether you're writing an email, whether you're writing a landing page, a sales page, something like that, just remember, you don't want to sell the features.
No.
This is what we're talking about. Don't sell the features. Nobody cares if it's a 2-hour-long meeting or if it's a 30-minute meeting. They want to know at the end of this meeting, you will obtain this or whatever that is, that outcome is so important. And that's what's going to get you to shift. If you start thinking about this, you've got your North Star. You've started to make sure that all of those things that you're doing on the daily basis are in alignment with that goal, with that
Does it help me get there? Does what I'm doing now help me get there?
Right.
If you're not sure, then don't do it.
There you have it. There you have it. And then, and this is all going to add up to your ability to realize your self-worth as a professional and as a person. And then you're going to be able to charge that worth because you'll know what is the outcome that I provide in all that I do in life and business. Instead of working hourly, instead of having to subscribe by this outdated mentality of what it looks like to work. This is what I subscribe to, lifestyle entrepreneurship. My business is here to support my life, not the other way around.
Agreed.
And you need to have that sort of mentality in order to embrace that type of lifestyle where you can let your shoulders drop and say, yeah, I'm going to spend the next half an hour between calls in the garden because I can.
And if you're not valuable, I mean, the market doesn't lie. The market says you're valuable, here's some money, or you're not that valuable, we're not going to pay you money. And it decides what
in the professional space. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're not valuable enough, go become more valuable. So this is the easiest time in the world to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest time in our history to learn things.
Absolutely.
So absolutely.
It's literally a click away.
Yeah.
Now, you have some interesting ways to do that, though, right? To make yourself more valuable, to make yourself at least appear more valuable. Because remember, perception is what is it? Perception is 9/10 of the law. Maybe that's not the
something like that.
But we're going to roll with it. Perception is everything. Whether somebody thinks you're valuable or not, as a professional, you all have. Listen, I am that person. You all have worth. You all are valuable as a human being, and do not let anybody tell you otherwise. And if they do, you tell me, and Mama Bear's going to come and listen. I don't tolerate that nonsense. But as a professional,
unless you're not contributing, if you're consuming, you're not valuable.
For the purpose not contributing, and now we're going to get philosophical.
Not contributing. You have the potential.
As a choice. Like if you're actually withholding. Yes, absolutely.
You have the potential to show value. Everybody has that. Yeah.
And you don't have anything mentally, physically, or psychologically, emotionally holding you back from doing so. Absolutely. Yeah. But yes, I just want you guys to know you have value in my eyes, and I love y'all. And professionally, if you feel like my value isn't really shining, people don't perceive my value, there's a way to help with that. And it does really come down to branding and marketing. But in Mo's case, we have a really cool framework, and I'm excited about it because it also tickles my fancy when it comes to just crude humor. So can you tell us about the poo framework? Because that's fun.
So branding, you can think of it as positioning, and that's the P. And positioning is, how are you positioning your value in the market? How are you packaging it? You can think of it that way. And to whom? Right. So who are you talking to, and how are you showing them your value? To them. And so if you find a group and you show them that you're valuable to them, that's a standout position. So niching or niching is the right way to think about that. And one offer that's outcome based. You know, the offer is not, I will come and mow your lawn. The offer is, I'll make your garden the most beautiful garden it's ever been.
Yes.
Yeah. So you come up with an outcome based offer, one outcome based offer for one group of people that shows your true value and that gives them really what they want is a standout position. That's the P.
Perfect.
Right. And then the O is how do you deliver that offer? And really the only way to deliver a standout offer is to solve every problem on the way.
Makes sense to me.
And a lot of people say that's not, and there's another freelancer mentality.
So I'm curious though, because now we've got, so O stands for offer.
Mhm.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm
Yeah,
following along.
Position,
Positioning,
offer,
offer,
and then outreach is the third O. And
outreach.
outreach, I think, to be truly independent, which is why would you want to be a solopreneur if you didn't want to be truly independent?
Right.
I think the only way to be truly independent is to be able to catch a fish when you need to eat,
That.
which means you need to go fishing. And so in marketing terms or business terms, that's outreach.
Yes.
I'm not waiting for them to come to me, which I think in and of itself is a ridiculous notion.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, like we're the fucking Romans. You know what I
right?
mean? It's
No,
like
it
we're not
doesn't
the
work that
Romans.
way.
Yeah, and you're competing with everything. You know, it's like my competition is YouTube and Netflix, and it's not just what I do. You know, so you're trying to get everybody's attention. Now, if someone Googles, oh, I need a car. You know, the other day I needed to change my tire. It's like I'll Google tire repair shop, and I'll find a 5-star. So then you think about social proof. So
Right.
poop is really the full acronym, because if you have proof, yeah, if you have proof,
Perfect. So we're just going to add a little, I've got my notes going. So if you guys haven't been taking notes, like, let's go. Come on. Now you get to write poop all over your sheet. You can just do little plus P because
yeah,
proof. No, that's true. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Positioning, offer, outreach, and proof.
So pick a group, solve every problem they have to give them what they want, right? Go and find them intentionally and show that you know what you're doing. If you have that, you will make money. There
Beautiful.
is no doubt about it.
I love it. And within that, of course, there are little ways to do that. And this is something that
Lot.
you show people how to do it. We won't get into that today because we're actually getting really cramped with time already. And this is perfect because surely everyone who's joined us here today for this conversation now has a really good understanding of, hey, guess what? It doesn't have to be complex.
No.
Like it really doesn't. These four things.
Simple is better, but simple is harder also.
Yes. And the fact of the matter is sometimes when you choose the harder path, you get the best results. So, and it doesn't, now keep in mind, and I'm not going to get too philosophical here, just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's difficult. Because if you're
No.
passionate about something, if you're aligned, if you found that North Star, then all of those things that add up, even though they're hard, you can do hard things and they won't feel difficult because you're in alignment. Now,
well, it's also pay now, play later, rather than play now, pay later. So
right.
It's hard at the beginning, but it's easier later. That's the idea.
Yeah. Absolutely. Momentum is a thing, right? Like, let's go.
No.
I wanted to ask you, Mo, I know you just gave us this perfectly simple and amazingly action-oriented framework, okay? But I want to ask you if there's something else, just this one extra little cherry on top that you could share with everyone today that will bring all of this together, tie it with a bow, so to speak. And I'd like to invite you to say that. Now, before I do, though, I want to let you think about it because I just put you on the spot. And in the meantime, I want everyone else to know that conversations just like this happen every single week. We have amazing experts just like Mo who come in here and tell us what we need to hear in order to make traction in our business, to feel fully in alignment with ourselves and our brand, our personal and professional brand, so that we can actually take action towards our goals, create the success that feels perfect for us, right? This is what we want. We want that independence, that freedom, and that alignment to live a lifestyle of our dreams. With that, I'll leave you to hit the subscribe button so you get notified for the next conversation. Leave a message. We're here to chat. Okay, Mo, tell the people what they need to hear.
Can I give them five small steps? So
Why not?
on LinkedIn, find 10,000 leads. That's your niche. 10,000. There's no more than 10,000, right? You send out 200 connections a week because that's your maximum on LinkedIn. So that's 40 a weekday or 30 a day. So you're going to send out 200 connections a week. That's a year's worth of connection requests. The minute they accept, you're going to personalize a message to them showing that you've taken an interest in who they are. Think about spending 10 minutes researching them, right? If you're spending less than that, I don't think you're doing a good enough job. And then ask them if they're interested, a yes or no question. Are you looking to make money on LinkedIn? Are you looking to leverage your email list? Whatever it is that you do. And then chase the no. And I mean this. And here's the golden rule. If it's not an explicit no, it's a yes, but not now.
Love it. Love it. And is that, now that's Is that 5? I don't know if I counted 5. I was so involved.
10,000 leads, 200 connections a week. Personalize, take 10 minutes on everyone who's connected with you to personalize. Ask them a yes or no question about their goal.
Got it.
And then chase the no.
I love it. That's perfect. Now tell everybody a little bit about the link that we've shown on the screen and the one that's in the show notes as well.
So I'll go through this poop framework in detail on a live masterclass. So you can come and watch how I built it and some of the success stories that we've had with it from different solopreneurs from all different walks of life. And so I run this live so you can interact with me and you can ask me questions. I do it once every month. And so I'd like to invite your guests to join us. So we've got a link for them, and you're going to get a couple of bonuses with some of the frameworks, a breakdown of some of the frameworks that we talked about here and how to use them. So I hope you enjoy that.
Well, we love bonuses, so that's perfect. I love it. Thank you so much, Mo. And this has been very insightful. I mean, a lot of this is baked within everything that I do on the day-to-day, but what I love the most about talking to people like you is how you're able to make it simple and fun. This is something that I love baking that into my own frameworks for myself, for my clients. But when you get to see things from a different point of view, now listen, I don't have a poop framework. Okay. It's like let's be real. This is so fun and so cool to be able to see things from different points of view. So for everybody who has just kind of been hanging out and enjoying this conversation with us today, then totally like sign up for the workshop. If nothing else, like just have a good chuckle, enjoy it, and look at a different way of looking at the things that we've been going over for a long time. I think it's really important to kind of look at things from a different perspective. And actually, before I say goodbye to you guys, I want to show you something. This is important. Look, he's missing an ear. I need to fix him. But see this? He's meant to be this way. This is Eeyore. And this is how he looks at things from different perspectives by standing on his head. So you don't need to stand on your head. You just need to join Mo and enjoy all that he has to share.
Amazing.
So, Mo, thank you so much for being with us today and for really just shining a spotlight on the very basic steps that you need to take in order to create traction in your business. If you haven't yet seen it, if you've been doing all of the things with minimal results, if any. With that, I want you all to have a great rest of your day. Lower your shoulders, take a breath, and just take the next step into what you actually want. We'll chat soon. See you.